Besties, I just witnessed the most unhinged crochet drama and we need to talk about it. A YouTuber trashed a crochet sock pattern and said it belonged in the bin. And then the designer called her out. Oh, and it gets messy. How did a pair of socks cause this much drama? Let's get into it. So you might be wondering, who are the players in this sock drama? So the first person that we're going to talk about is Roaming with Rover. They're a small YouTuber and a small business owner with approximately 2,000 subscribers. In the beginning of her channel, she used to post a lot of videos about RVing and some holiday highlights. And progressively, she moved into doing chatty videos about her crochet projects. Some of her most popular videos were massive yarn hauls, and she hosts lots of weekly live streams with her co-host Cheryl. These live streams range from just chitty-chatty, working on projects, to actual cals. And for those of you who don't know, a cal is a crochet along, or you can have a cal as in a knit along. And she has had both of those on her channel. And the second person in this drama is Olga Petolva. She's a crochet pattern designer with approximately 171k subscribers, which is impressive. She is known for her well-written and detailed patterns. She's also sold over 30k patterns on Etsy, and she has an absolute array of free tutorials on her YouTube channel. So it's safe to say Olga knows her stuff. She's also very active on Etsy as well as YouTube and answers comments across all of her social media profiles. So if you have any problems, she's there. So like most drama, this began rather innocently with a comment on one of Olga's sock videos. Robin said that she would be using the perfect sock pattern as one of her cals for the month. And Olga responded to that comment and decided to follow along to see how the pattern worked out for Robin. So this is where the drama really starts to take off. So in the first cal live stream, Robin is working on the perfect fit sock. Her co-host Cheryl is working on a completely different pattern and pretty much does so for the remainder of the cal. Robin's cals are more like themes. So she suggests like if you wanted to make the same sock as her, she's going to be using the perfect fit sock pattern. But if you just wanted to work on a sock and jump into the live stream chat and say hey anyway, that would be totally fine with her. While working on the sock, Robin does express a bit of frustration in that she can't figure out how to adapt the pattern. And the biggest fit issue she had was that it couldn't go around her foot far enough. Length is quite easy to get, but aroundwards, not so much. This is because crochet doesn't have a lot of stretch going across ways, but has a bit more going length. Another thing to note is that she did say that she had obtained gauge. So we know that it's not a gauge issue that she's having. They also mention in the cal that other people have made the sock and it seems to work out totally fine for them. So her co-host Cheryl did have some practical tips on how to adjust the sock, but Cheryl's main focus of the live stream was translating her pattern from Russian and like working up a completely different sock. One thing I'm really surprised about is that at this point, Robin didn't seem to lean on her friend that much for practical advice on how to adjust this sock. I feel that her friend Cheryl definitely has a bit more experience in adapting patterns, so she would probably be able to actually help her with this. So that's the end of the first live stream. She's a little bit frustrated, but overall she hasn't given up yet and she hasn't given any negative feedback. What Robin didn't know at the time was that Olga had actually seen her live stream. And once she had learned that Robin was really struggling with the pattern, she had left a long and very lengthy detailed description of how to adjust the sock. Now this is where the true chaos begins. Besties, there is a second live stream. You would imagine that Robin would have seen the comment and made some adjustments, but that is not the case. So Robin has been working on the sock during the live, and instead of some constructive criticism, she was not so happy. She called the pattern confusing and suggested it should be thrown in the bin. She had also started working on one of Olga's other patterns, which was the chubby feet sock, because she thought that it would have a little bit more space. And it's true, it does. But Robin is offended by the name, the chubby foot sock, but she calls it the chunky foot sock. And from there, the conversation just got increasingly negative. At around the 43-minute mark, she says that she's disgusted with it and that she has failed at socks. Cheryl does try to troubleshoot with her, but Robin doesn't seem to be that interested. So you might be wondering, what happened to Olga's comment? Didn't Robin read it? So here is the twist. The comment was deleted. This is the point where Olga decides she needs to take matters into her own hands. She sees the criticism and she makes a full response video. She explains her sock pattern is made to be adjustable. The name the chubby feet sock was inspired by her dad and was definitely not meant to offend anybody. Olga also explains that she tried to help, but the comment was deleted. She also clearly states that anyone who buys a pattern can reach out to her for help. And I did personally verify this, so I checked on her Etsy page and it's written quite clearly that you can reach out to her for help through the Etsy chat. She also said that she had to respond because she felt like this was an unfair attack on her pattern. Olga's video was calm, professional, and straight to the point, but it was very clear that she was hurt by this. And I would definitely suggest going to watch that video if you haven't seen it yet. So what is the fallout from all of this drama? Olga's fans went over to Robyn's page and made it clear that they were not happy. Some people had left constructive comments, but a lot of other people had left hate comments. And I personally think that going to someone's page and making hate comments is a step too far. No one deserves that kind of online hate. And I have to say that Olga really didn't need that much defending after she put out her video, because it was such a well-written and articulated video that there wasn't much else to say. So there were some more live streams after that where Robyn was still working on sock patterns, but she had turned off the comments to non-subscribers. And she also started turning off comments on other videos that she had about the cowl. And overall, she has been very silent on this matter. By now I thought Robyn would have actually just issued an apology, but I guess that's not quite how she rolls. I think at least addressing some of this drama would go a long way to restore faith back in the community. And Olga also released another video on how to adjust the sock pattern. So the resource is always there for people to use. Hopefully Robyn has given it a watch and decided to make her pattern work. Here are my final thoughts. This drama got so out of hand. It could have easily been avoided if Robyn had reached out to Olga on Etsy or even on YouTube. It seems that Olga is very responsive, so if you reach out somewhere, I'm sure that she would actually respond. I will say this about the lengthy comment. As a YouTuber, I have noticed that sometimes YouTube will delete rather lengthy comments, or sometimes they end up in the held, but it won't let you know that the comment has been held for some reason. So we can't blame Robyn solely for the deleted comment because we're not sure if she actually deleted it herself or if it was something that YouTube may have done. But if she intentionally deleted the comment herself, then that was very shady. And I think something else that is not talked about a lot in the community is that not every pattern is for everybody. And that's totally okay. At the end of the day, this is a reminder to give feedback without being mean. The community is very small, a lot smaller than we think. So it goes a long way if we decide to be nice to people instead of choosing the sort of chaotic mess and being mean. And I definitely don't think that Robyn went into this with malicious intent, because why would she comment on Olga's first video if she was planning on dragging her later? In my next video, I'm going to be exploring whose fault is it if a pattern doesn't fit. So hit subscribe, give me a like, and I'll see you next time.